I can tell you a couple things and then we can get started. So honestly, what I'm doing is buying myself time to turn the camera on and make sure that everything sounds good. But while we do that, while we wait for myself, let's go ahead and comment below. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Maybe let's start with your name and where you're watching from. And then also I'd love to hear about maybe the latest project you're working on or your favorite software. So if you can post a link below, go ahead and post a link to your portfolio. We'd love to check it out and see what you're up to. And maybe even let us know what your favorite software is, or maybe your favorite subject. Do you like web design or print design or making t-shirts or logos or branding? I don't know. Go ahead and comment below and let us know. We'd love to check it out. And then also, if you'd love to see what I'm up to, you can check out my work at derekmitchell.com. You can see some YouTube videos at youtube.com/derekmitchell. And then also live streaming at behance.net/Mitchell's Garage. So you can check me out there. And then did I say Instagram? I don't know if I said Instagram yet or not. Instagram.com/dmitchelldesign. So hopefully there's links and buttons and stuff here. Right there. Anyway, all right, guys, we're about to dive into some really cool stuff. Feel free to comment in the thread, and I'd love to, again, see what you're up to, and I'll try and answer your questions as we get going, but let's go ahead and dive in. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. One last thing I was going to mention too, because I don't know how much time I'm going to need to turn all this on. Maybe it's ready to go and, you know, the real me, the live me can just cut this off and we can get to it. But in case I need a little bit more time, let me just tell you about myself. So my name is Derek Mitchell. We've been over that. Also, I live in Montana, in Kalispell, Montana, actually, which is just outside of Glacier National Park. And I've got 4 daughters and a wife, and we have tons of fun doing outdoor things like riding bicycles. We float the river on our paddle boards. That's a ton of fun. I love to downhill mountain bike. That's a ton of fun. When it snows for like 9 months out of the year, we like to go snowboarding and skiing. So I feel like I'm rambling. So at any point, Derek, just go ahead and just, you know, let's do this. Let's get live. Let's start teaching. What is going on, Miles? My dog just came to say hello. Hi, Miles. Want to say hello to the people? Come here. Come here. Come say hi. This is Miles, my poodle. We're working on his mohawk. Oh, thanks. Kisses. Oh. What's up, David? Thanks for joining. It's actually the Washington coast near Port Angeles, Washington, in a place called Salt Creek. Super cool place. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. Hey, what's up, Gabriella? Thanks for joining. How's it going? David says stuck in Houston for now. Yeah, where are you guys stuck at? Are you guys quarantining? Are you stuck inside? Do you have some space to run and play? What's up, Jude? Thanks for joining. Watching from Nigeria. Wow, that's awesome. I don't know if you can see out the window here, but it's snowy and cold and gross outside. David says, if you're snowboarding, it's not cold and gross. That's true, my man. That is true. You guys, what's going on? Welcome to today's live stream. I'm super pumped. We're starting a little bit early because I can't math good as an artist. I sent out an email so we could go live 15 minutes to 2 o'clock, which is great. That's great. You're all here. We're jumping in. We're live. But we still have like 4 minutes till 2 because I made my timer 10 minutes long. So math and art and stuff. Guys. So good to see everybody in the chat. What's up, David? What's up, Gabriella? Hey, Manik, watching from India. That is awesome. We've got people from Denmark, Nigeria. Gabriella, good to see you. David, thanks for being here. Lots of people. We've got an awesome show today. We've got exactly an hour with a special guest. You might have caught our live broadcast a while back with Mr. Paul Gowin. Super pumped to welcome him to today's show. And in fact, he's in the green room. He's hanging out. He's just chilling. So I'm going to go ahead and let him in. Let's see how this works here. Oh, fail. I was so close. I really thought I had this planned out. He's laughing at me. I see him in the green room just laughing at me. There he is. Oh, now we got 3 up. This is what I get for being fancy. I'm just going to do this. We're going to try this. We're going to go like this. And we're going to go like this. I got him a fancy lower third. All right. Let me see if this works. This still, I broke this though. This sucks. Way to go, Derek. Yes, we have 2 up. Okay, now can you guys hear me? Can you hear Paul? Are we good?
Check.
Check. 1, 2. Paul, so good to see you. Your feed's a little grainy, but it might just be me. I gotta select this if I don't want to get cut off. All right, and then the other thing I don't know if this is going to be the volume for you. Go ahead and check that again.
Check 1, 2, January, February.
There we go. That's more better.
I'm getting a real bad echo.
Are you?
Like a 1 second delay echo.
Okay, that might be. I need to do a mix minus on my board. I got to get all fancy. What's up, guys? Talk amongst yourselves.
Fancy.
So if you're talking, is it an echo with you, or is it just an echo on?
I might be picking it up on
from you.
From your side.
Like when I talk, it's all nasty. Oh crap! I practiced this.
So. Where's everybody tuning in from?
All over the place.
Caitlin, Manic, Monique, David, Gabriella.
Fun fact: Gabriella was my TA for a really long time. She's awesome. Recently, well, not recently, like a year ago, had a baby, which is cool. All right, I practiced this. I did this multi-track USB.
Pennsylvania. Thanks, Caitlin. It says I'm echoing through. Is it Paul is echoing through or Derek is echoing through?
Come on. I can't remember where the setting is for this. There we go. Hopefully that just fixed it.
Monique says, Derek, your voice is great.
Oh.
That microphone.
I don't think that's what they meant, though. Did that fix it? Did that go away? The echo sound?
I'm not hearing an echo now. Caitlin says it was me that was echoing, and I'm not hearing it anymore. Caitlin, can you give me a thumbs up or a good to go?
Fantastic. If anybody wants to know what we just did here, I've got this fancy this board, and I love it. So what I did, because people care about these things. I do. I don't know. I'm a nerd. But then I just closed the menu, and I don't remember which menu I was in. Okay, so under if you're in the board, and you go to your settings, and then you go to advanced, and then you go to audio, and you go to processing, we turned off USB mix minus. So basically, we're sending all the audio except for the USB track, which is what Mr. Paul's coming through. So just in case you care. Wow, I'm throwing all kinds of.
Monique says my voice is great too, but it was echoing, so I think we're good. He likes my voice too. It's not quite as buttery as yours because you got that amazing microphone.
Oh, thanks. We'll get you one of these days.
I know. It's going to happen.
All right. So pumped for this, man. I'm so pumped. Hopefully we're broadcasting in lots of fun places. I've got a page, Paul, if you want to look at, actually I could text it to you. Where did I even put this thing? Courses.derekmitchell.com/live. I posted a YouTube video, and I think there's Facebook comments below it as well. We've got comments happening all over the place. I'll try and bring them in as I can. We'll try and monitor the chat, monitor all the different comments. Paul, looks like you're obviously seeing some of the chat as well. Let's do this. Let's go. I know you only have a solid hour, so I am going to give you the stage, my man, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So for those of you who don't know, Mr. Paul Gowin, he is a good friend of mine. He is, you know what, I'm going to let him do his own intro because there's so many ways I could go with this, but really cool guy. Pay attention, take notes, right? So with that, Paul.
I'm the dude with the grainy video right now. What is going on with this? It looks like garbage.
It is hot garbage, like a dumpster fire.
This is like the early 90s dial-up internet. Like,
what happened?
Just hopping in? We tested this yesterday.
We did. And I'm the one in Montana. Like, you're in Arizona and Phoenix, nonetheless.
I know.
And
I know. We need to chill out the signal or something. I don't. My computer's doing well. This is part of what we're talking about here. Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Gowin. I'm the founder and CEO of the Take Command Project, where I work with executives to train them for how to have even greater success in their businesses, their relationships, in their personal life, because we focus on creating an even stronger personal foundation. And what do I mean by that? There's a lot of people that will talk about like your good habits or your bad habits or your positive thinking or your negative thinking or your all of that I call your personal foundation. And when you strengthen that personal foundation, well, think about like a building, right? If you're going to build a skyscraper, you don't build it on a half-inch cement slab. You have to like really go deep and do some work so that foundation can support the skyscraper. So that's what I help out my clients with and my students is how do you strengthen that foundation so you can have even greater relationships or your current relationships? How do you have an even greater sense of fulfillment, engagement, joy in those relationships? How do we apply that personal foundation to advance your business? Many of you are working to grow a business within graphic design. Okay, let's take something that is art, very subjective, and then we have to find some way to regulate it, management, and like have people give you money for it. That can create some stress. That can create some cracks in your foundation. And Derek and I were talking about how could I help out his audience? And that's what I'm here to do today, is to take a look at what could be of the most service to you all as we are facing a pandemic, as we are facing the holiday season, as we are facing a new year. Just jump in and we want to just serve. So I would say that would be the basic introduction.
I love it. I love it. That's good. If you guys, okay. Oh, I left it downstairs. To try and keep up with Paul's energy, I had a Bang energy drink, and it was called, I'd have Jenna bring it up to me. What was it called? It was called well, it tasted like liquid Skittles, or like Jenna, I had her had a sip and she said it tasted like liquefied Flintstone vitamins. It was called like something. Oh my gosh.
I would drink it by the case.
Radical Skedaddle or something like that was the flavor. Yeah.
I don't know. Do we need to be on Bang? Do I need to get on energy drinks?
Dude, you need just water. You are good to go. You are so wired for the both of us, and I love it. So very good intro, Paul. So what I want to do today is just, we can share some of your story. We wanted to talk about building confidence, because a lot of the questions I get for people coming into our group are just the insecurities we feel as artists. A lot of times we have the imposter syndrome. We're coming into this and we feel like, I'm not good enough to be charging money for this. I'm not good enough to be either trying to start a career and getting that job or trying to be a freelancer. Like, how do we build that confidence? And then that kind of piggybacks or runs parallel with, dude, we're in the middle of some very uncertain times. There's lots of crazy stuff going on, and we've got building confidence, but we also have the other end of that, which I know you teach, is the fear aspect of it, dealing with fear. Like, should I quit my job right now to do this? What if the economy collapses and I'm afraid that I won't be able to make enough money, or, all those different things. And so I kind of want to open it up to you to speak to that for our students. And then again, if you guys have any questions in the comments, we are watching those comments. Caitlin says, imposter syndrome for sure. So yeah, Paul, what do you have for us to say about that?
Caitlin, we're going to have a lot of fun because you're jumping right in and you're like, chat roll, yes, please. I want some help. If you are tuning in, do me a couple favors here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Derek and I were talking about the beautiful audience that he has, and that it is worldwide. I am tuning in from Tempe. Can I write this in my chat roll? No, I can only read chat. I don't get to type chat.
Did you join from Ecamm or did you join from just the camera?
From Ecamm.
So you could get
from the
fancy
link you sent me.
Oh, okay. But you can change your camera source to Ecamm and get fancy with it, or not.
I probably could, but
whatever.
I think it's stable, so I don't want to mess with it. So leave a note where you're tuning in from, and then throw it in the chat roll. We are here to serve today. What normally would require thousands of dollars to invest, we are here to serve. Derek and I are accountability partners. We're strategic partners, and we were taking a look at what could we do in this time of a pandemic and the holiday season and everything else going on. And we both looked at each other, kind of like did one of those like sassy grins and said, let's jump in and serve. So thank you so much. We've got Glasgow, Scotland from Facebook user. I don't have a name with that. We also got Facebook user from Indiana. We've got St. Charles, Missouri. I love this. I love this so much. And it seems like we've got imposter syndrome. And Gabriella is saying, how do you deal with that while all of your interactions are online based and often feel not as real as it would in reality? Holy smokes. We have what a great audience you have, Derek. We can just jump right into this. One of the things that I love to do is research the etymology of a word. And that means the history of a word or phrase, that's its etymology. And the reason why I do this is because language is the oldest tool that we have in humanity. That's it. Language. And one of the people I study, Dr. Lera Boroditsky, says that language represents the ideas that have been worked out across thousands of generations. And like a game of telephone, if I had 10 of you sit in a room and the password is strawberry shortcake, by the end of the 10 people, I would get something like Pluto's not a planet. Like, it would be distorted because that message changes a little bit from person to person. So when we take a look at the etymology of a word, we remove ourselves from how it's currently being used, and we take a look at perhaps what the original thought was expressed by our ancestors. So big introduction. Confidence, its root words are with trust. With trust. So when we talk about imposter syndrome, there is a lack of trust. And it starts with you. It starts with that personal foundation. So what do you do when you're facing imposter syndrome with art and feeling like you have a place and a contribution to the world, especially if people aren't investing in you? I'd ask you to take a look at, why did you get in this industry? What about this artistic expression appeals to you? And see if there's some way that you can reinvigorate that piece of art in your life. Maybe it's to get in and work on, Derek, what's it called? The big board that you sent me on Photoshop. What are those things called?
Are you talking about like a mood board? Or like a...
No, not the mood board, the different cards, and it's all on like one.
Oh, we just did art boards in Photoshop.
Artboard. Yeah. Whether you're going to get in and do like an art board and you're just going to do like a creative dump into that art board, or maybe your thing is Premiere Pro, or maybe you're a musician, and pick up that artistic vehicle. Make some art for art's sake.
Real quick.
Art that you appreciate.
I want you guys to post, what kind of art are you working on? Are you doing print, web, business cards, posters? You know, what are you working on? And I want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Peterson from Big Fork, Montana. She's about 20 minutes away from me. Sarah and I go way back, used to work together. Thanks for tuning in, Sarah.
That's awesome. Between the three of us, like you, Sarah, and me, we've got like half of Montana's population on this call right now.
That's right, guys. Paul is actually, you were born here or just raised here? Born and raised in Montana?
I was raised in Montana because my parents, I was born in North Dakota, like border town. Yeah.
Nice. That's true. That's funny. Yeah. Population, what, like 10, half of those are, livestock.
Relative. Yeah.
Relatives. All right.
It looks like my signal's gone to garbage again. I don't know what's going on.
A little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Is my audio still coming through?
Audio sounds crispy and delicious. You're good. So I cut you off when we were talking about art boards in Photoshop. And then I asked everybody to post what kind of art you're working on and what you fell in love with and why you're doing all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And go in, because with art, it is subjective. When you make art, there is something that calls to you to produce that and bring it out into the world. If somebody doesn't buy your art, this is where we have that with trust in ourselves, that confidence. It does not mean you suck as a human being. It doesn't mean you suck as a graphic designer. It doesn't mean you suck at anything. It means that you've got some art out there, and we've just got to find the right people to appreciate your art.
I laugh because that hits home for me, and I'm sure for most of our users, for sure. You're like, oh, I suck. Oh, I'm so bad. Why? Yeah. Oh,
Did you face that as you were getting going? And
100%.
You had different hiccups,
I still face that. I faced that last week. Some of my students know I was working on this really cool project called Ask Santa. It's an AI, artificial intelligence Santa. Go to asksanta.com if you want to check it out. There's part of that project we were working on that was like way above my abilities. And Paul, you and I had this conversation. I was like, I'm over my head, out of my depths. This is not, I don't know what I'm doing. right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And what'd you tell me?
Gosh, I don't remember. We've had so many conversations the last week.
We do.
Like I told you guys, we're accountability and strategic growth partners here.
Yeah.
So we've had so many conversations.
That's funny. My wife just said Derek still faces this every day. Thanks for tuning in, Jen.
I know.
Yeah. No, but it's a very, very daily battle. And you just, I want you guys to know, watching the stream, this is not a unique thing to you. Everybody faces it. I've been doing this. I've been in Photoshop for over 20, I think it was like 22 years. Been a professional designer, paid for it, being paid for it as a designer for, I think it was like, I can't remember, like 15 years. I lost count, but I'm that far into my career, and it's still daily. It was last week I was dealing with this, right? So it doesn't go away. Yeah. So Paul's giving us strategic ways to handle those feelings and those thoughts, right? To make it a rational and not just a hypothetical, like, oh my gosh, I have these feelings. What do I do with it?
Absolutely. And I love that Jen is weighing in here. Like, you need someone to encourage you, a spouse or a friend that serves only to hype you up. Yes, I think that's, Jen, you're so spot on. You're such an amazing woman. And what we've got Alabama coming in. We've got California via, I think, North Dakota. Yeah. Okay. So as you are working with these challenges with confidence, how do you create more confidence, right? Like, how do you recognize that you could be an imposter syndrome and that you have something that you want to get out to the world? My art was music. I was a professional saxophone player. And there were times, especially if I talk to like the classical music junkies, if we got any of those, like, let me know. But I talk to, like, let's put a saxophone in an orchestra. That's my art. I want to contribute that to these classical music junkies. The abhorrence that some of these violinists would have, like, you want to do what? And I'm like, well, you've got clarinets, you've got trumpets, like, bring in the saxophone. A saxophone was not invented 400 years ago when Bach and Beethoven got together. Okay. That music isn't for them. That doesn't mean I suck as a saxophonist. That doesn't mean I suck as a human being. The danger comes when I start connecting my identity to the performance of my art. When I start connecting my identity to people accepting or investing in my art. Because what you have is not an art problem. You have a marketing challenge. And with everything that you all are doing, with Derek, help me out here. We've got Premiere Pro, we've got Adobe Rush, we've got
does anybody Photoshop. There's so many apps: Premiere, InDesign, XD, Illustrator, Photoshop, Dimension, After Effects. I'm missing like 100 other apps. They've got so many apps. They've got mobile apps. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. I believe this about you watching this right now. If you can solve Premiere Pro, Adobe Rush, design, like whatever this is, whatever that design element that you are working in, if you can solve that to have some sort of that artistic expression that you want to produce, that graphic design for the world, I know you can learn marketing. I know that with your persistence that you've already demonstrated, we can get your contribution to this world, this art, these posters, these business cards, these flyers, these public relations techniques out to the world. It's time to learn a different skill. The same skill that got you proficiency in Premiere Pro is not going to get you $1 million. That you're going to learn some new skills. You're going to learn that marketing. You're going to learn that business acumen. So stay fluid. Stay adaptable. And one of the greatest ways that I can see to do this is to ask myself, and I want you to ask yourself this, what can I learn from everything that's happening right now? What can I learn? Now, if you're going to be a smarty McSnarty pants and be like, well, Paul, I've learned that I suck as a human being. Okay. You win. Checkmate. But when you say, Paul, I've learned that I can learn new skills. I've learned that I have persistence. I've learned that I have resilience. I've learned that I have focus to accomplish a goal. Oh, Okay. Then how can we take that and apply it to what it is that you're working on right now? Let me just pause and I'm going to get a little swig here. How's that landing? Put it in the comments down below. Is that, we had a couple people talk about imposter syndrome. Give me some feedback if that's speaking to your question. If you have a question, put it in the chat roll.
That's good. That is good. Yeah, this is great. And we've got a lot of people that say, yeah, yep, hit the nail on the head. You know, good to know what happens with professionals as well. I think talking about me saying last week, right? I'm over 20 years into my career. And last week I'm like, oh, I suck, you know? And that's when Jenna, here, I'll throw it up here in the feed. She said, this is my wife, you need someone to encourage you. And that's something Paul knows, cause we talk a lot, but, as an artist, I attribute most of my success to, I work my tail off. Yes. Give myself some credit there, but also I have Jenna who's constantly encouraging me when I'm like, oh my gosh, just being, you know, the emotional artist about everything. So you guys got to find those people in your life that can help speak into you. And, that's, I don't know if that's necessarily my secret, but that's definitely a major part of my success is Jenna, 100%. Like, 100%. We can talk about more about that later. We do have a couple questions in here. So Manic, I'll throw this up here. We may or may not get to this question. Let's see. He has doubt related as a designer, how we contribute into society in a new way. What should I do to bring a new concept? So there's one question if you want to think about that for a second.
Okay.
And then
I think that might be some tactics from your perspective with the great things that you've done.
Yeah. I want to, let's go ahead and, here's one from Facebook user. I wish I had who the names are. Struggle to find a marketing niche. I spend niche or niche. What do you guys say? I spent a decade as a news producer. So, this is something I answer a lot, when you struggle to find your niche. And I just say, do what you like, because whatever you like, you're going to make and you're going to enjoy doing it. And then whatever you make is going to attract more of it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I always say this, if you hate business cards, don't design more business cards. Don't show that in portfolio. Cause then people think, oh, this person does business cards. Like, do the thing you like and that'll attract more of it. That'll also help with that imposter syndrome. So, living in Montana, I tend to say yes to everything because there's not a lot to do here in Montana. So if somebody says, hey, I need you to make a logo. Yep, I can do it. Hey, I need you to make a video. Yep, I can do it. You know, figure it out later. Hey, I need you to make me a brochure. Fantastic. Let's do it. And so the pros and cons. Pros is you become good at a lot of things. The cons is while you're doing that project, you might feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And there's that panic the whole time you're working on it that really activates that imposter syndrome. When you find something that you can rinse and repeat and do a lot of, whether it's logo design, all I do is logos, do lots of logos. You get really good with repetition over and over and over. And that helps build your abilities. It helps you fight that imposter syndrome because you get good and you don't have to worry, am I good enough? You're good. You're really good. So that's something I would recommend. Let me look at something. Do you have another question you want to address? Did you look in the chat?
Well, the Facebook user for the news producer, and help us out. I think there's a link on the Facebook post that you can click and accept.
Yeah.
And it might give us your name. If not, just like put your name in there so we know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
That way I can say, well, Bill, Nancy, we can't use Nancy anymore. Karen. We can use Nancy. We can't use Karen. Yeah. There's that old saying, like you can judge a person by the 5 people that they hang out with the most. And there's been additional studies to say like that can be an estimator of wealth, business growth. There's also an aspect of that affecting you at the genetic level, like that influencing your cellular growth.
Is that how like Jenna and I dress the same when we go to leave for social events? Back when there were social events and you could go out. And you go and you're like, hey, you're wearing like the same thing I'm wearing. Is that what you're talking about?
Does she have a closet full of black t-shirts? I think she's a lot more fashionable.
This one I'd like to point out is a charcoal gray. I left the black t-shirt. I was going to put on a collared shirt to keep up with you. And then I was like, no, sorry. Not going to do it.
I actually put on pants today. So I'm doing really well.
Oh man.
So in terms of like finding that marketing niche, and finding the marketing niche, and then what are you going to work on? When we think about like driving, you have a license, you might have a vehicle. And if we got in the car and I said, well, where are we going? And you're like, anywhere. I can drive anywhere. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm in your car. Where do we want to go? Anywhere. I can drive anywhere. Okay. Well, do you want to take some side streets? Do you want to take the highway? Do you want to take the freeway? Do you want to take the interstate? Do you want to take the Autobahn? Anywhere. I can drive on any street. Okay. Well, let's just start driving and see if something pans out. Now that we're driving, do you feel like you have a direction that you want to go to? And you come back and you're like, anywhere. I can drive anywhere.
You're killing me. Does it have to be? Is that the voice we do it? I don't know if I could do that.
And I'm laughing because that was me in my early days as a leadership and transformation consultant. I knew because of aspects of my background, I could work with anyone or I could help you with anything. Well, where are we going? Yes. When you choose to find that marketing niche, it's going to come with an investment of your work, your time, your energy, your focus. Amy Porterfield is an amazing resource. I think it's episode 235. I don't know if I don't have the ability to put it in a chat room. Maybe if I send this to you. Yeah, it's episode 235. Yes, I'm a dork because I recognize these resources and I kind of remember them a little bit. But you can go to amyporterfield.com, track down episode 235, and there's a podcast and a free download. Download the free download, listen to the podcast, and complete the worksheet. And what it does is it's your ideal client. Okay, so let's go back to driving. I want to go to the supermarket. Well, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Whole Foods? No, because all I'll be able to do is buy a cookie. Do you want to go to Safeway? Do you want to go to Buttrey's? Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to a farmer's market? With those additional nuances of detail, that allows you to drive your company to get to that specific location. If you stay focused on, well, I can design anything and I can serve anyone and I can work on anything, then in that scatteredness, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. So put in the work, identify that specific market, that specific niche. If it's logo design like Derek, then go for it. There are so many logos to yet be designed in the world. Do it. Jump in. And maybe you want to do logo design for lawyers. Please do. They need some help. They're a little too straight edge at times. There we go. Yeah, you got the page up.
Yeah. Now I'm just trying to make it. There it is. There's Paul. Hey, look at me go. There we go.
Here we go.
Here's
Jude's
the page.
asking for the link. Yep. Oh, this is perfect. They're asking for that link. Awesome.
Cool.
Amy's going to take me one of these days.
I'm streaming to like 10 different places. By 10, I mean like 5-ish. I don't know where they're at. I need to post it and place it. Tell you what. Yeah, there it is. All I did was search for Amy Porterfield 235 and it came right up in Google. But
there you go.
There it is. There it is, guys. That's what it looks like. This is what he's talking about. November 1st, 2018. How to identify your ideal customer avatar. There it is. All right.
So I think that helps out. Did news producer come back with a
yes,
name?
Angela, I believe.
Hi, Angela. Thank you, Angela.
Yes.
Does that help answer your question, Angela? And I know there's a delay for going live.
Yeah, there's like a 16 to 30 second delay potentially. So, you know.
Yeah. So we'll get that feedback from her.
Yeah.
What else? What do we got? Bring us back up to 2 up.
Yeah, hey, man.
I want to share this with you.
Yeah. I'd like to point out that with my lighting, I look like I've got a nice tan going on, even though I'm in the middle of Montana and it's totally cloudy and overcast. And you look like a pasty white kid from Montana. What the heck? You're in Arizona. I'm just kidding. It's just the lighting.
I didn't turn on the Logitech before we got going. I didn't launch this via Ecamm. I just opened the link and I was like, let's jump in.
I'm not going to lie. I was panicking because we had 1 minute left in the countdown. I was like, where's Paul? You had a call before this and it sounds like it went really good because
it did.
Fantastic.
Well, and it's some of the same things that you all have taken a look at. This imposter syndrome. How do we learn new skills? And I was working with a female executive in the state of Texas, the great state of Texas, and some of these challenges that she's facing. feeling these blows to her confidence. And how do you go find more confidence? Well, what did we talk about yesterday, Derek? It's like trying to look for your shadow.
Right.
If you're looking towards the light, no matter how proficient you get at looking towards the light, you'll never see your shadow.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for your confidence and you're looking away from like inside of yourself, you're not going to find the confidence. Confidence comes that with trust comes from within you.
So Jenna had a good comment. She says, can Paul talk a little about the power of word choice when talking with clients? And then,
that's such a great picture of her too, by the way. Good,
I know, right?
Good job, Jen.
And then
got that giant smile.
And then right on the heels of that would love to hear your thoughts on how freelancers can confidently sell themselves. So we've got the power of word choice and how to confidently sell yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are using language in some sort of limiting way, I am just getting started. So did everybody else. Like everybody started at some place at some time. Even Angela, the news producer, moving into like this other role. You were starting as a news producer at one point in time, and then you shifted gears into what you're doing now. The challenge comes in if you start really believing those limiting statements. For example, I'm not good at selling. That was something I told myself for the first couple of years. I'm a great coach and consultant. I'm terrible at selling. Guess what I lived into? Being a really great coach and consultant. And I lived into not being good at selling. Instead of taking a look at, I want to improve my proficiency in selling. I want to become a better salesperson. And so that confidence, when you are going in to present your work, to sell yourself, like Jen said, but when you're there to present your work, how do you have that confidence? You take a look at, are you proud of your work? Are you proud of what you've produced? If you've got that part down, celebrate that. And then take a look at, are you positioning your work, yourself, your marketing message in a place where people in that target audience are going to be able to see it so they can invest in you? If you build a billboard in the middle of the desert and then complain that nobody's seeing it, it's not everybody else's fault they can't see it. So this is part of that skill of marketing and salesmanship, of understanding the right way that you can present a portfolio. How can you show your work in the best light? And have courses on how to present the portfolio and how to really enhance the portfolio. Is that right?
Yes. The graphic design portfolio builder course. Let's see. The best way to get that is either on my website, derekmitchell.com. It's also on Skillshare. If you guys have a Skillshare membership, and it's also on Udemy. Lots of places to grab it. Actually, I think we've got a bundle as well where we bundled the portfolio builder with the Upwork course that Jenna did, where she teaches you guys how to create an Upwork profile as a freelancer and get work. What's crazy about this, to date, I don't know how much money she's made off of this, but we made a brand new profile just for this to show people how to do it. She was pregnant when she started this course, working on creating her profile, like laying on the couch with a laptop. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, but I think she made like $4,000 in like a week making her profile. To date, it's significantly more than that. And she shows you everything. So if you guys are interested in learning how to make money on Upwork, like that's the course to get 100%. It's called, I think it's like Upwork like a pro, or Freelance like a pro on Upwork or something like that. There's more coming. I don't want to cut into Paul's time. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to do the plug here. But
well, and here's the reason why I'm doing the plug. When you get started, Caitlin.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Caitlin, you are so awesome. She's been here since before I got on the call.
Yeah.
You rock.
Yeah.
Look at that curly hair, you rock star. That's so beautiful. when you choose to have this do-it-yourself approach, like some of those books behind Derek are back when they had books on Photoshop and books on Premiere.
Yeah. My wife's always like, "Are you gonna get rid of those? Those are dated." And I was like, "But I like them. They're mine."
Right. And he showed me like how he had them tabbed, and there's highlights, and there's notes, and the margin, and like different aspects. Yeah. And that do-it-yourself approach works to get yourself started. Yeah. That's a skill that you learn to do it yourself. That has a short runway, because when you choose to have that DIY approach, it creates a different kind of DIY for your results. You ready for this? So when you have a do-it-yourself approach, it will create, are you ready? It will create a delay in years. So as you get started, and I'm kind of preaching to the choir because you all are here because you have connected with Derek on one of the platforms to be able to learn at a higher level. You've moved away from that DIY. Now there's still work for you to do. Working with them doesn't mean you're going to be beyond taking out your office trash, answering your emails. It means that you're going to invest in that professional for a specific reason to help you move forward faster than you could if you stayed in that DIY approach.
I'd like to point out, for those of you who might be married or have a significant other, don't try to pull that stunt with them. I can't take out the trash. Do you have any idea who I am? My time is not worth taking out the trash. Don't do that. Speaking from experience.
Just a friend told me.
Yes, exactly. A friend.
So as you are progressing and you're wanting, if you recognize, you know what? I am proficient in logo design. I am not proficient in marketing. Okay. Then you ask one of these people that are a few steps ahead of you. Hey, Derek, what do you recommend for marketing? Hey, Paul, like we've already done that today. Like here's Amy Porterfield's website, tip of my tongue. And for some of you, you could have searched for years and not found that. But when you ask an expert, when you ask someone that's a couple steps ahead of you, when you ask someone that is where in the direction of where you want to go, then they're able to give you some of those pieces that serve as stepping stones that will really smooth out your path. So identify these people that have the skills that you want to leverage, and you might not be in a place to directly work with Derek one-on-one for him to come in and teach you logo design on a one-to-one relationship, or come in and help you structure your business, or to invest in Jen for what she can do for project management. Okay, you can build up to that. That's where you create that relationship and you ask them, hey, what are the 5 major steps that you would recommend for logo design? What are the 5 major steps that you would recommend for developing marketing skills? What are the 5 major steps that you would recommend for setting up the website for portfolio presentation? And a lot of these people, because they were where you are, really want to help out the community. So when you ask that, when you jump into the chat role and you ask these questions, you're going to get this level of interaction service, especially with somebody as great as Derek. Because God, how much you've helped me this year with some of the projects that I've been working on has just been phenomenal. I can't even imagine, like, if I was in your industry, like, and I understood half of the stuff that you were telling me.
Yeah, right.
Let's get some additional.
I just got distracted. Jenna just came up. I don't know if you hear my phone pinging. She created a discount link promo for you guys. For those of you who are watching live, I want to do a giveaway. I actually want to give away the Freelance Like a Pro on Upwork to somebody here. I can make a coupon. I want to give it away.
Caitlin.
I was going to say Caitlin. Caitlin, thank you so much for jumping in. If you don't have it already, we'll make sure that Caitlin gets. Okay. Jenna's talking to me from off screen. Caitlin, Caitlin, we will follow up with you on Facebook. If you don't, let's see, Jenna says to give you the complete graphic design at gmail.com email address. completegraphicdesign@gmail.com. Email us if we don't see your contact. It looks like you're coming in from YouTube, but we'll find a way to get you that program if you don't have it already. For the rest of you who would like to buy it and check it out, it's regularly, I think, listed for $30. Paul, I don't know how to do this. Let me see. Because we're broadcasting in so many different places. Do I just add text over the top? Let's try this. I'm going to
try it a shot.
Oh my gosh, this is the wrong font, and it's in size 1 million.
You do that. Let me jump in with Gabriella here.
Yes.
Thank you. She said, Paul, you are awesome. How do I get your energy? You don't. You get your own.
Look, dude. I was gonna say, bang energy drinks, but
right. Yeah. I drink a couple cups of coffee a day. I'm having a little bit of late coffee today. But overall I drink water. I don't drink soda, and I don't drink a lot of the other stuff that has just like the sugar and stuff like that. Oh, deep. Is that a smiley face? Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't like a little middle finger that she was giving me. She's like, thanks,
funny.
Jerk.
That's funny. I'm trying to show this discount code. This is the wrong way to do it. This sucks. This sucks. But there it is. There's a discount code for those of you watching. It'll be up here.
Intense.
Yeah, there you go. If you want it, you have to earn it. No, I need to post it. Maybe right. Jenna can post it. Jenna, can you please post it on places? Thank you. All right.
How do you get energy? You recognize that energy can be, this goes against the laws of the conservation of energy, but energy can be created and it can be destroyed. If you are the person that does not have a fast food establishments, that was a great freeze frame, wasn't it?
Yeah. If you said if you're a person that, and then we kind of lost you a little bit.
Oh, I don't even know what's going on with the feed.
It might be my computer trying to do too much. We'll blame it on that, but it could be your feed because everything else is fine. So
yeah. So you can create your energy, and it comes down to, and I don't like to use the word habits, because when we say habits, we have like good habits and bad habits, and it's not really like something that you're actively doing. So I like to use the word training. What is the training that you are undergoing to have enough sleep? What is the training that you have in place to eat healthy, to drink healthy, to exercise healthy? What is that training? And if you're not sleeping well, then solve that. It's kind of like marketing. You can develop skills to learn how to sleep better. You can develop skills to get to bed on time. You can develop skills to wake up on time. You can develop skills to go work out. Especially with everything in this pandemic, more opportunities for you to work out in your living room than ever before in history. I practice yoga first thing in the morning on a Zoom class. And some people are like, there's no way you could get some benefit from doing yoga over Zoom because then the instructor's not there to make the corrections to your posture. Meet my instructor. She doesn't need to be there in like one-on-one. She is so skilled. She can see what I'm doing. She's like, Paul, relax the left part of your top of your shoulder on your right arm. And I'm like, she's like, yeah, perfect. And go figure, it is perfect. So how do you get your energy? How do I get my energy? I take a look at what am I doing to support and promote energy creation. Because the reality is, if you and I were talking, Gabriella, or anybody else that's on here right now, are you aware of some of the things that you're doing in your life right now that are sucking the energy out of you? Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a caffeine habit. Maybe it's a nicotine habit. Maybe it's a food habit.
Social media binge, right? Instagram, trolling.
Media.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We just got done watching Fleabag on Amazon Prime. I haven't even told you about this yet. Have you seen this yet, Derek?
No.
Yeah. We totally hit it hard. There's 2 seasons. It's amazing. Watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. That was one of those things that staying awake Saturday night until 3 a.m, binge watching an Amazon Prime show, that's not supporting my energy. So then what is the training required for me to have the energy ready for today's live cast? Well, get to bed on time, wake up on time, make sure I move my body, get sweaty, stretch myself out, jump in and be ready to serve. And I would say that's the piece that helps me focus, whether I am facing imposter syndrome, like some of you have said, whether I'm facing a challenge of marketing myself or selling some of my services. When I focus on service, I win. If I focus on sales before service, I might make the sale, I lose, my client loses. Overall, it's tainted because I allowed salary and sales to come ahead of service. So my energy, I think about as I'm getting ready on this to go live on this call, and like Derek was saying, I had an hour call right before this one. It was like 56 minutes, so that way I could get on here.
I was like, because you're like, oh, it'll only be 20 minutes. It'll only be 20 minutes. It'll be fine. And I was like,
Right. And so as I was getting dialed in, I had enough time, use the bathroom, refill something to be able to drink, and then just take a second. There are going to be people from around the world on this live cast. Serve them with excellence, Paul. And I take a deep breath. I open my eyes, and then I see that I'm in the green room, and Derek's doing the intro to the show. As you are getting ready to present your work, if you are facing the imposter syndrome, if you're facing the marketing challenges, you're facing the selling challenges, if you're facing just like self-doubt, self-worth, and you can focus on serving others. And sometimes it is that self-service. You do need to take care of yourself by getting that proper rest and that hydration and that nutrition. If you focus on that service, then that is that skill that can be applied to every area of your life. So focus on that service because that really helps me out with energy as well. I hope that answers your question, Gabriella.
That's good. That's good. Something that he talks about too in the breathing, and I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit. We got about 15 minutes left before he has to bounce.
Yeah.
Paul has some courses he's working on, some that aren't even released yet, but he has one that talks about confidence and kind of rehashes some of the stuff we've talked about today. But in that course, he talks about what he calls the take command breath. And I'll let him describe it. But that's something that's helped me even. I was editing these videos for him. So in doing this was able to follow along with the coursework and that take command breath that you teach. And I forget who you first learned that from, but the science behind it and the actual, I just need to stop talking. Teach them to take command breath and how that.
Help me to take command breath, Paul. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. One of the things I want to say before we jump into that is why do I have some of these answers that you guys are looking for here? Because me too. Imposter syndrome, stress, anxiety. Some of you may have depression. Some of you may feel overwhelmed. Some of you may feel like you want to start your business and get your work out to the world. And you're not sure if you have the skills, the tenacity, the follow through, the grit, the abilities to do it. Me too. Some of you are starting over in a different career or a different part of your career, or maybe starting over in taking some of the things that you learned and working for somebody else, and you decided to plant your flag in the ground and say, I am now going to be self-employed. Me too. And in those times where I face that stress, I face that overwhelm, I face that anxiety, I face that doubt, I face that shame, guilt, Derek did a great intro for this take command breath. I study neuroscience and how the brain functions and the role of language, like Jen was talking about. I'm really big with words and how your language interacts with your brain. And one of the neuroscientists I study, his name's Andrew Huberman out of Stanford. He has a couple labs that he's running out there. He is the one that I learned this technique from, and then to help give it a mnemonic device, a way that you can remember it more easily. As the founder of the Take Command Project, I call this the Take Command Breath. So the Take Command Breath, you have to change the way you say take command. We put the emphasis on the other syllable, and it looks like this. Take command. Take command. And that serves as a guide for how you're going to breathe. And what it is a double inhale through the nose and then an exhale through the mouth or the nose, depending on your preference. So it looks like this. You go. Can you hear it? So, and wherever you are right now, I want you to do this with me. We're going to do 3 rounds of this. Okay, go ahead and take a cleansing breath. All right, here we go. Now try and bring more air in this time. Now bring in all of the air on the planet on this 3rd breath. Here we go. And what Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist, has studied is there is nothing that he has found and researched and tested in his lab that allows you to move from that place of fear, fight, flight, freeze. It's called the sympathetic nervous response. And it allows you to move into this place of more confidence, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Allows you to, I really geek out. It allows the blood flow to go from the amygdala for survival and move the blood up to the prefrontal cortex where decision-making takes place. So if you are facing that doubt, that guilt, that fear, or things are going really well and you want to continue that, give yourself the gift of that take command breath and just see what happens. It has absolutely revolutionized my coaching, and it's really helped me out in my personal life for when I am facing those different challenges. Oh, you're so welcome, Caitlin. You're so welcome. Randomly stumbled on this live. Really happy you did. Awesome. Different point of view. Couldn't have asked for more. So glad you're here, Gabriella. Where are you tuning in from? I don't know if I saw that from Gabriella. And then Nirjar, I am so sorry. I'm not familiar with how to pronounce your name. The Amazon series is Fleabag. And it was extraordinary.
So Gabriella was our TA for a really long time. Awesome job. I think so. She was in, I want to say, Denmark, and then moved to Greece for a while, and recently moved back to Copenhagen. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining.
Super glad that she's here today. We had a few people. Hans, a few different people joined in here towards the end of this stream, which is awesome. So being aware and sensitive of your time, Paul, I know you've got another meeting to get into here. We've got about 7 minutes left. If you want to open it up to Q&A or any final thoughts, I do want to give a shout out to your YouTube channel and some other things too before we bail.
For sure. If you've got additional questions, we've got a couple minutes left now. And also, Derek, I'm sure there's a way that we can review comments. And
I was just going to say that. Yeah. I mean, you might be watching the replay on this and it might be months later. Comment below. It doesn't have to be live. We'll still reply in a text. It just won't be in the video. That's all right.
Yeah. And Derek and I have talked about how we can do this on a more regular basis to really help out his audience. And it's a way that I can help serve someone that I love and respect so much. Derek, you've just been such a light in my life. And I know that you are loving and serving your students. So
this is so much fun. Is going around if you guys couldn't tell, we're both wild extroverts. So this whole quarantine and not going out is just wrecking us. So getting to hang with you guys is awesome. We should do this more.
If you're interested in learning more around how to create even more confidence, it doesn't mean you have to suck at confidence or you have no confidence. If you are in that place of wanting to create even more confidence, it is a course that I worked with Derek on. I actually flew from Phoenix, Arizona up to Montana to be with him for a week. And we created what we're calling the Quick Win Series. And the first course in the Quick Win Series is around creating even more confidence. And I created a special link, paulgowin.com/graphic design. paulgowin.com/graphic design. This is a $47 course, and I was able to just offer a little bit of a different price point. I think it's $17 if I remember I got everything built correctly.
I only laugh because you and I are both like, there's just so many things when you're running the show, right? You're like, oh, that link, I broke it.
Right.
Yeah. But we can also send a follow-up email, you guys, with some links and things. We can post it in the chat roll, but this is the page. This is what you're looking for. Very excited about the content. There's a lot more coming. Not to steal your thunder, Paul, but a lot more coming. So stay tuned. Some New Year stuff that's in the works. Really, really excited about it and the difference it's going to make, the impact, the ripple effect it's going to have on the people who go through this course. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're so welcome, Caitlin. It is my pleasure, because in focusing on service, I have been able to move past a lot of the anxiety and the depression that I have in my life. I'm a combat veteran that faced some trauma when I was a kid and had a tumultuous military experience and have post-traumatic stress. The great thing is I have post-traumatic stress. Right now, it doesn't have me. And that Take Command Confidence course are the tools that I developed that in the middle of a panic attack that sometimes could last hours, I'd have to go change my clothes because I'd sweat them out. I created these 5 steps for how to create more confidence on demand. And I want to share it with you. I believe in what you're doing. The world needs your art and your contribution, whether you are doing logos or business cards or flyers. You are creating beautiful, my friend. And if I can help you with a proven 5-step framework that you can learn and that you can implement anywhere, it would be my privilege to send it your way. paulgowin.com/graphic design, exclusive offer just for Derek's audience, because we were talking about how can we give back? How can we grow at the end of 2020, the year for clarity and vision, right? Eyes got wide open this year. How about you?
No kidding, right? It's funny. Halfway through 2019, I was like, I should buy a bunch of like 2020 domain names, like Photoshop 2020, and dealing with the whole perfect vision and everything. I never did any of that. Right. But who could have ever foreseen, right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So if I can serve you that way, please check it out and help me help you. Help me help you and your friends. Because like we said, like those friends, not only is it going to help focus on your productivity, your connections, your network, but it also affects you at the cellular level. So friends who are learning together, they grow together. That's part of Derek and Jen and our strength is we are growing together. So keep an eye out for additional courses. I'm really excited about all of this. There was one question in here about how to learn the skills. I think it was like how to create the time. It was a little bit ago.
I was just putting the link up. Oh, Caitlin just purchased. That is awesome. Yay.
Oh, thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome.
Oh, Gabrielle at paulgowin.com. Yeah, GOWIN/graphic design.
He asked me what the link should be, and I was like, I don't know, just make it up. He was trying to hook you guys up. I can grab
anywhere.
Yeah. Cool.
I think there was a question about how to develop those skills. And the piece that I would recommend is listen to your language. Jen highlighted this. Thank you so much. Listen to your language. If you're saying something is hard, you're not being accurate. When something is hard, like I look at what Derek does and I could say, it's hard. And he would be like, no, it's easy. Well, that's such a subjective term. Let's see if we can find an objective way to describe what's happening here. Derek, in what you do with Premiere Pro, I do not have the proficiency like you do. So instead of saying something's hard, I say I don't have the proficiency yet. If I wanted to say that something's easy, I recognize I have a high degree of proficiency in it. When I recognize that, it orients me to what to do about it. So for Premiere Pro, do I want to learn Premiere Pro? Nope. Derek, help. Do I want to learn more marketing? Do I want to learn more sales conversations? Absolutely. So I don't say that sales is hard for me. I say that I want to increase my proficiency because I recognize I don't have that proficiency. So as you're looking for what skills you're going to develop in this upcoming year, identify what you previously would have said, oh, that's hard, and recognize I can develop proficiency. And then you identify the courses, talk to Derek, drop a note in there, because we probably have some resources we can give you. So that way you don't have to look around and find some stuff that might be marginally effective, or we've already screened and vetted and seen that it's ineffective. Or we can say, oh, you're looking for marketing. You're working to develop the marketing niche, Angela. Okay, Amy Porterfield, episode 235. When you ask those questions, it allows us to serve you at an even higher level. So keep the questions coming.
So good, man. And where can they find more of your stuff? You've got your website, paulgowin.com. We've got a YouTube channel. Yeah. Where's the best ways to connect with you?
Instagram, I'm at paul.gowin. The website is paulgowin.com. LinkedIn is where I'm hanging out right now. I'm not on social media a lot. There was just a lot of politics and a lot of just pandemic experts that I just didn't believe. So I took a break from social. So LinkedIn is probably the best way, paulgowin.com. And there's some different resources. You can sign up for my blog there. Because Derek, I don't think I've told you about this. I'm going live January 1st for a couple hours to help people take a different and fresh look at goals and a plan to set the conditions to accomplish those goals, and not by changing your habits.
That lasts for 3 days, maybe 2 weeks tops. Right.
Right. Oh, wow. That was a super awkward freeze frame.
That was.
Yeah. It's to take it. Now I'm just going to like freeze it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's my computer trying to keep up with your energy. If it can't handle both of us at the same time, I'm just going to go right back to the one up and see if it gets better.
I don't know.
Nobody needs to see. You don't need to see my face. Nobody cares about it.
I think we're going to
I've got a face. What do they say? I've got a face for radio.
I love it. That wraps up the time that I have for today.
Awesome.
We are definitely doing this in the future. This was so much fun. I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat roll that asked the questions, that contributed. You know what? You have access to be able to pull up the chat roll, right? Afterwards?
I do. And we have people from Facebook, from YouTube, from Behance, lots of different places. So we can connect on where everybody was jumping in from. Lots of people on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Derek Mitchell. I'm pretty sure that's the link. This video should be up there as a replay, and you can see the links or the chat roll there. Yes, I will send you links, Paul.
Yeah. Keep having the questions come.
Yeah.
Because we can either respond to the question in the chat, or we can have your question for the next time we go live. So make sure you ring that bell, subscribe, do all of the things, so that way you can be alerted for when we do this again. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Derek's blog, do so that way he can send you the email and say we're scheduled to go live.
Perfect. All right, guys. Paul, I'm going to kick you out of here. We can reconnect. We can call or something later once this live's done doing whatever it's doing. But again, thank you for your time, for speaking into my students and blessing them and teaching them things. Guys, if you learned something today, post in the comments what you learned. What was your favorite takeaway or ideas for what you want to learn next in the next live? But Paul, thank you so much. We will see everybody later. Have an awesome week. Goodbye.
See you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching today. Hope you learned a lot of valuable information, and I appreciate you sticking around to the very end. But before you go, just a couple things I want to remind you. The first is, if you haven't already, feel free to like this video if you can, depending on where you're watching from. Give it a thumbs up or subscribe or tap the bell or give it a follow if you can. And also maybe even just copy the link up in the browser and share it with a friend or post it to your Facebook page. I'd really appreciate that. But again, just want to say thanks for sticking around, and I'd love to continue going live as much as possible and helping you guys out. So the best way that I can help you is by you commenting on the videos below. I read those comments. I engage with them as soon as I can, if I can, when I see them. So if it's live, I'll try and answer you right away. If this is a replay, you can still comment on the video, and I go back and I read those. So I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to help you out, and hopefully we will see you in the next live. And to be sure you don't miss it, like this video and subscribe and follow and do the things. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.